I bought an electric Rivian R1S and road tripped it on day one. Let's see how it went. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is the day. Today is the day I am starting my EV journey. I am driving from the DC area to Cleveland to pick up my Rivian R1S. And so, yep, I'm just gonna jump right in. I'm actually gonna road trip with my EV on day one. So we'll see how it goes. So I rented myself a one-way rental. I don't know why I chose this Mustang. I mean, maybe it's my last foray in gas. So I'm officially on the road, headed to Cleveland to go pick up this Rivian R1S. And so just so you guys know, this was not something that I jumped into lightly. Like, I have been planning and researching for about a year now to figure out which electric vehicle I was gonna get. And so I was going back and forth between the Hummer EV. I needed something larger because we have, you know, kids and dogs, right? So I need something larger. But I really like Rivian. I've been to a lot of their locations and done all the research. And so that's what I decided to do. So today, I'm doing it. Now, I do think it's a little bit brave to go and try to road trip your first day with the EV. But you know what? Why not? So tomorrow, when you see the rest of the video and I'm actually in the Rivian, you're gonna say, weren't you wearing that same shirt yesterday? Don't worry about it. I packed some socks, a pair of underwear, and my computer bag. That's all I got. So don't judge me, but it's a light trip, just one night. So don't judge me, right? But it's a road trip, and it might be my last time being able to eat in my vehicle. So I'm actually eating Waffle House on the road, because it's not a road trip. You don't stop at Waffle House. Okay, so here we are. We made it to Cleveland. I left the DC area with the full tank and that 2024 Mustang. I had a full tank, like I said, and I got here with a little less than a quarter of a tank left. So I'm like here, I'm right outside downtown Cleveland. I go to the Rivian tomorrow to pick my vehicle up. But this is the part that's gonna be a little bit different than about having an EV. So right now, I am using my iPad and I am planning my route back home. Because this is gonna be a long drive. It's gonna be, like I said, a little bit over 6 hours. And so I'm using a couple different apps. I'm using a Better Route Planner app. And that one has me charging twice. One for 12 minutes in Pittsburgh and then like another 20 minutes in Pennsylvania. And it's actually very similar, so it appears to be pretty consistent, some of the route planning. The Rivian app, which I think is built on a Better Route Planner, has I have a buddy who has a Rivian, and so he actually was kind enough to plan the route out for me. So I think I'm good to go. I think the drive tomorrow will be uneventful, but this is the part that's a little bit different. When you go on super long road trips, you do have to sort of plan your route accordingly, right? You can't just hop in the car and say, I'll just charge up whenever I want to. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys posted. So I actually forgot to ask the Rivian employees if they were okay being in my video. So I'm going to exclude that footage, but they were great. Everyone was great. But here it is. This is my midnight quad motor R1S with the large pack battery. And I really love this interior. This is what they call the forest green interior, but I don't know if you can tell, but it's really more of it's like a grayish green. It's almost like a military theme there, but I love it, love it, love it. So I did it. I'm here in my R1S. This is the Forest Edge interior. I like it. It looks really great. And now starts the fun part. I'm about to start my 6-hour drive home with my EV. So we'll see how it goes. So here we are. I made it to my first stop. That was like after about, I don't know, an hour and a half of driving maybe. And so it wants me to charge here. I'm actually at a Tesla charger. So apparently these have been updated. These actually do CCS. So I actually won't need an adapter. I hope not. So it wants me to charge here for 14 minutes and then we'll get back to it. So let's talk about what just happened here. So it brought me to these Tesla chargers, right? And on my screen here, as you can see, it tells me that all the chargers are available, and it shows that they are CCS and NACS. And so I went over there and I pulled out the thing, and I did not see my CCS port. So I come back to the vehicle. All right, let me focus here for you here. And then there's this little pop-up here. So this was user error. So apparently you need to hold that button to pull out the CCS plug. So I'm gonna try that and see how charging goes. And here we have it. My Tesla supplied CCS. So I'm just gonna push this little button right here. Open up my charge port. And we're ready to charge. Let's see what happens. So I'm sitting here in my R1S, charging at a testing charging station with no adapter needed. This charge station actually has CCS and the normal NACS adapter. So no extra cable needed. Just pulled over into this Target parking lot and I'm charging away. Okay, so here we are in Breezewood, Pennsylvania. This is my second charging location. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open up the charge port. And this is my first time getting to use the Rivian charging network. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, man, this Rivian charging network is flying. I don't know if you see there, it says that I'm getting 446 now, 47 miles per hour. I was actually getting around, at the previous Tesla charger, I was getting about 200 and something. So yeah, this thing is flying. So I'm actually gonna go grab some food while this is going on. It tells me it wants me to charge this to, per my map, it tells me to charge it to 75%. So I'm gonna go monitor it with the phone app and go grab something to eat. All right, so I made it back from Cleveland. The Rivian's charging. I actually did not know that it did that, right? I did not know that it projected that. So I got it charging right now. I made it back with 122 miles left. So everything worked out. There she is charging. Okay, so as you guys saw, I made the trip safely, no issues. It was exciting. Couple observations now. I've had the vehicle, I drove back from Cleveland on Tuesday. So I've been driving the vehicle. Today is Friday. I've been driving the vehicle all week, to and from work, running all my errands. And, this isn't a full review, but this is just like a quick things to point out here. First thing, I don't miss CarPlay. I really thought, so I'm a diehard iPhone user, right? So I've, all my vehicles since CarPlay has come out have had CarPlay on them. And so that used to be a non-negotiable thing for me, but I don't miss it. And what I realized is what Apple really did with CarPlay was really introduce us to a more software-based car interface. But it doesn't mean it was the best, because I will say, hands down, the infotainment center in the Rivian is better than CarPlay. It's different. It's not standard, and it's not going to be the same in every vehicle like CarPlay is, but it's better. It's more responsive. It just looks better. So I don't miss CarPlay, which is surprising. And then the one other thing that is relatively interesting to me is I've only used my brake twice, right? And so that is something that if you've never driven an EV, and I'm a person who, I did not come from an EV prior to getting this Rivian. So, I've been only driving, gas guzzlers my whole life, right? And so I did not use my brake. When I first left Cleveland, I used my brake initially because I didn't know how to disable the automated driving stuff. And then I didn't use it the whole drive back from Cleveland. And then all this week, going back from to work, I've only used my brake once, and somebody ran out in the street, and I had to, slam on the brakes a little bit there. But love the vehicle. I'll give you a little bit more in-depth review as I've had more time with the vehicle. But my initial impressions are the biggest thing I could tell you is this. I don't know if a lot of you remember when you first used like a smartphone, like when you went away from having a flip phone, and it's kind of like that. Like I remember the first time my cousin let me use their iPhone, and I was blown away, right? Because it was just a completely different experience. It's kind of the same way. Like it's like driving a giant smartphone. It's basically a computer on wheels, right? Like it's not. There's no stopping and starting the engine. I'm doing a lot of things remote right now, checking status and sending messages to the vehicle. So I love it. It's great. I'll be honest with you. This is the future. I mean, I'm not saying Rivian in particular, but EVs are the future, and I love my R1S so far. So I'll get back with you, like I said, after I've had the vehicle for a little bit longer, but I'll film a few more videos. I'm actually it's been a while since I've actually cared about my vehicles, and so I didn't wash my previous car, which I'm giving to my son, for years. But I went out and I got like some special tools and stuff, and so I'm gonna test that out. I've already watched the vehicle once just to see how it was gonna go, but I'll do a little bit more testing. But I'm looking forward to this EV journey. So stick with me.